Greetings, fellow traders. Poland here. It's time for the daily market wrap for Friday, January the 8th, 2021. I hope everybody had a great trading day today. This is brought to you by Positive Trends Research, and everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome. Good. All right, well, let's check and see where we left off with the market here today. So SPX, I mean, they did it, right? So, green, we're back over the upper Bollinger Band, up 20 points. They were up 80 cents earlier. Look at that week. Woo! Looks like a fractal version of the annual chart, right? So this big engulfing hammer candle to finish the week, and a lot of folks would probably say that's a hanging man candle, but even if it were a hanging man candle, it's a 60% chance probability to work its way to the upside. So decent push up here as we get to the top of the channel. Again, market's really liking stimulus news, all that stuff, right? We had the 1-2-1-2. Looks like we're working on a wave 3 right here. Gave a little bit of a 2-3-6 pullback before popping at the end of the day. We did get a little bit of a scare there, but it did give a nice move. So good stuff there on the SPX. Let's take a look at the SPY. So not bad for the first week of January. SPY finished up there with a little increased volume as the buying pressure started to come in. I think it was like $3.8 billion on the MOC buy side. So we've got that going into the weekend. So we'll see how that holds. Looking pretty interesting there. Let's take a look at the S&P futures and see how our levels played out today. So we saw a lot of choppy action at the open. Right, so we saw a couple downside moves that got us short on names like Apple, things like that. Tesla ended up working its way up too. What an epic dip buy right here. Right off of one of our signal zones for a nice push to the upside, cleared through all the levels, and just an incredible impulsive move back up into the end of the day. Really quite impressive. So very nice move there. Other than that, we'll take a look at the MES here. Again, it's going to obviously have a kind of like a channel type formation going into the weekend. So we'll see how that goes. Could be like a little bit of a megaphone. So we'll just see what it has in store, right? So let's say with the Qs. So the Qs today, again, nice little push at the end of the day as well. Gave some choppy price action, gave a couple nice short opportunities, and then the dip buy was just epic, right? So a nice move there on the Qs as well. The IWM, not as good, right? So it ended up closing below its 15-hour below and not really working its way up as well. So we need to see what it sets up for us on Monday. The XLF was interesting. It was down for the majority of the day and really kind of supported the down move in the market, and then the dip buy supported the dip buy in the market, right? So pretty cool stuff there on the XLF. Let's take a look at a couple other names. Apple. Looking pretty interesting going into next week. Again, we looked at the intraday price action on this one. It gave a huge dip buy earlier. Let's see if it gets pulled up for it. Yeah, so nice dip buy right here off of the lows of the day. And really ended up pushing pretty well. Ended up with kind of this hammer candle right here. So let's see how that goes. It's over the ADMA. Not as much volume as I'd like to see. But we'll see how that goes there. And then, of course, there's Tesla. So Tesla hit closed at 880.02. This thing keeps on going. Hit a high of 884. This thing is just a monster and continues to go. Let's take a look at NIO. NIO, we were looking for more of a stronger kind of gap and go here this morning. We couldn't quite close above. We couldn't really quite push with a lot of authority here intraday. They did buy the dip on this thing in a pretty epic manner and ended up closing with a nice candle over the all-time highs. So again, still pretty strong on these electric vehicle names going into next week. Speaking of which, Baidu, a lot of call activity on this, a lot of increased call activity on Baidu going into next week. Towards the end of the day, this is its strongest close since the last breakout candle. We'll see if that gets any follow-through going into Monday. THBR, I just want to throw this one out there. Remember, mention this one. This is a SPAC company right here. Pretty decent close today on this one. I believe it's an electric vehicle SPAC, so another one to kind of keep an eye on there to run on that, the SPAC hype and the electric vehicle spike. So we've got that. Penn is an interesting one too. There was some good gambling news today, I think, with some sports betting type rules that we're getting passed. So nice close on this one over the inside day. So definitely keep an eye on Penn going into next week. JD's another one. If you don't like trading, crazy name like Baidu, JD's pretty stable here. I mean, generally it looks okay. A little bit cheaper name right there. Is after its big breakout candle, this is its first decent close. We'd like to have seen a little more volume, but still looking pretty good there. So let's see how that holds for JD going into next week. And on the short radar, there was not too much stuff breaking down, but I did like Stitch Fix here. Again, it's still continue to work down off this breakdown candle here. It gave a little bit of a push up to the 80 MA and kind of looking a little rough right here. So see if it pushes down below these lows and starts to get an accelerated move down to the 50-day moving average and potentially to the gap window right there. So we'll see how that goes on Stitch Fix. Anyway, guys, I really appreciate everybody for tuning in. I hope everybody has an awesome weekend. We're going to be working on the newsletter this weekend. So if you're not part of the group, definitely tune in. It's a great way to get a good perspective on the market and to learn new technical ideas. So I hope everybody has a good one. Thanks again for tuning in. Stay healthy out there and remember your risk first and stay safe so you can stay in the game.